Hector Neris is gone. Thank goodness, right? And the Cubs win. Let's go.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Thank you for being part of the show and making us your first listen today. And the best way you can help us grow the show is to listen every day, like the video, and comment anything below. Today's episode is presented by our great partner at Prize Picks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. We are going to break down the Cubs win over the Tigers and get to some trivia. But first, unbeknownst to all of us, the Cubs placed Hector Neris on waivers after Saturday's game. And by the time Tuesday rolled around, Neris not only cleared said waivers, but was designated for assignment and eventually straight up released. Neris pitched as recently as Sunday and blew the game just on Friday. The right-hander was signed to a $9 million deal back in February with a $9 million player option for next year if he pitched in 60 games. While this doesn't impact the Cubs' own estimate that they will be over the luxury tax, it eliminates any idea that Neris is in the 2025 plans. He had a 3.89 ERA in 46 appearances, but, and here's the kicker, a 6.26 ERA in save situations, as the Cubs bullpen the first 2 months of the season was in shambles. Sam, the Cubs say goodbye on Tuesday to Hector Neris in what can only be defined as a absolute roller coaster of a campaign.
I thought about you the minute I heard about it, not because you've complained about Hector Neris a lot, because you broke the news to me. Look, this is the right move. I didn't realize you could do this in a vesting option. So, instead of finding a trade partner for Neris, you basically did by cutting him and saving the money for next season, which will ultimately, help the Cubs a lot. Also, it's addition by subtraction, because now that high leverage spot, that ninth inning, gets to go to a guy like Porter Hodge, who, not only is more deserving than Hector Neris for his performance over the last, month and a half plus, but it's also a really good a trial run for next season. And he passed his first test Tuesday night. Jorge Lopez will get some looks in that role, I would assume, as well. Tyson Miller. I mean, the guys that threw Tuesday night are the guys that really should have been throwing in high leverage for the last, I would say, month and a half, 2 months. That's Miller, Smiley, Lopez, and Hodge. And then also this, like I said, it just opens up some money for the Cubs next year. I think it was $9 million you're on the hook for if Neris was able to convert that vesting option into his own option. And now the Cubs are off the hook on that with some financial freedom. The only con is it just shows you how hard it is to find good relievers, because this was a guy that was, I think most people after Josh Hader unanimously said he was the next best reliever on the market. And, it's very hard to predict. From the second he threw a pitch for the Chicago Cubs in Arizona, he did not look like the guy we were hoping he was going to be. And, he had some decent moments. It wasn't like he was just absolutely atrocious every time out. He just had some pretty bad moments in save spots. But it just, when you're paying $9 million for a relief pitcher, you're paying most of the time for some stuff, for some whiffs, for some swings and misses. And he just wasn't that guy from the jump. His walk rate this year was out of control by his standards. His whiff rate was down. People weren't offering at the splitter his best pitch like they did in the past. And it was just felt just like a tightrope act every time he stepped on the mound. And I think this was a good move for the Cubs, and probably one that could have been made even earlier after the deadline. If you really, if it was this easy, maybe there's a certain amount of money they didn't want to eat off of it.
Why was he pitching Friday in a safe spot?
Yeah, right. No, it's really fair.
And then Counsell lied to everybody, did he not? You texted me the quote.
Yeah. He said that he had been
He's
pitching
pitched
well.
well. He's our closer type thing.
Yeah. He said that, I think it was on Friday, he said that lately Neris has pitched well. And then I think on Saturday, when asked if Lopez was getting the ninth permanently, he just said, I think, I don't want to, I'm not 100%. I think he said because Neris threw a bunch of pitches, that's why he didn't pitch on Friday. So.
Later, Jed placed him on waivers.
Yeah, and then a couple of days later, he now, if Craig calls to get Hector Neris loose, there won't be anyone there.
I guess when you look back on it, the signing in February was a surprise. I mean, I have to check the tape, but Hoyer and his team hadn't really made that kind of bullpen investment. And as you say, on top of that, Neris had been regressing the last few years. Well, actually, on Monday's episode, we talked about that a lot.
Yes.
There's just, again, a combination of emotions here. We did just get into it a couple days ago, and he was a personal source of angst for me for sure throughout the year. I just think right now you have the head honchos, Hoyer and Hawkins, within the last 30 days have both publicly said that the team is shifting their focus to 2025. Then they made a couple of trades that back that up. And now this Neris for Neely move does the same thing. And if that's what they want to do, okay. I have a combo of emotions just because, the optimist in me wants to hold on to that last string for this year. And, on New Year's Eve, when you have the glasses that have the next year on them.
No.
That's what the Cubs have on right now. They have the 2025 glasses on.
Right.
And I don't know if I've agreed with that all the time, but that's what they're doing. And it's just they need to get moves right. Like you alluded in a text earlier today to me, they need to get these things right.
Or
like you say, bullpen is volatile. Yeah, but how about you just get it right?
Or make adjustments faster.
Okay.
Make adjustments sooner. Right? Why does it take so long to make these moves? Why do we have to see certain guys? Why did we need to see Jose Cuas give up a bunch of runs in San Diego for him to eventually get sent down a couple of days later? It was clear he shouldn't have been a part of the pen early in the year.
Yeah.
Those type of things. Well, why does it take so long to make adjustments? And because you're not going to get every move right. You're going to have some Jonathan VR.
It's disasterly.
You're going to have some
Jose
Andrelton
Cuas pitched for the Cubs this year.
Yeah.
And then he was sent down. He was put out to pasture.
Let's keep it positive. Cubs won a ball game today. This was a good day. Hector Neris getting released is that was, financially.
It was huge.
It was really good financial news for the Cubs, and the Cubs found a way to win a baseball game today. And as my dad, one of the first things my dad taught me at a very young age, I would probably say I got to say I was probably about 6. He said, Sam, no matter what happens during a day, it's always a good day when the Cubs win. Always.
Yes.
So the Cubs won a baseball game today, and
it's always great. It's always a great day to be a Cubs fan.
Well, if they win,
despite all the troubles.
And we could thank a certain World Series winning former middle infielder for helping us with this ball game tonight.
Yes, 0 for an 0 with a few strikeouts there.
0 for 4 Ks, Golden Sombrero.
Golden Sombrero, thank you.
Yes.
The Cubs promoted Jack Neely, who the Cubs got with
excited
Ben
about him
in the trade with the Yankees for Mark Leiter. Neely struck out 13 and didn't allow a single run in his first 6 appearances at AAA Iowa. Neely is one of these dudes eligible for the Rule of 5 draft this winter, so now the Cubs get an extended look at the 6'8" power arm, Sam. Wow.
Excited.
Nice to see him slot in, hopefully maybe as soon as Wednesday.
Excited to watch him pitch. He's come in here. He's thrown the ball really well in the minor leagues. Look, because of the bullpen situation and the volatility there, you got to stack yourself with options. Porter Hodge, Lopez, Smiley, Miller. And now Neely, all options. Obviously, Luke Little's going to be out for a long time. We'll see what happens with Ben Brown. We'll see what happens with Cade. We'll see what happens with Wicks. But there is some depth and some options here. And, releasing Hector Neris today freed up some financial and player flexibility.
Well, and to that point, I do want to bring up Drew Smiley, who pitched in this win on Tuesday.
Some people would say your guy, Drew Smiley.
I think you got to put this guy on waivers as well.
Really?
And see if a team picks him up before the August 31 deadline, if a playoff contender wants a lefty, and you open up some flexibility there. I think they should put Smiley on waivers. I think they should put Wisdom on waivers. And you got nothing to lose
in order to save some money towards this year's cap.
And the Smiley waiver claim would also be a money saver. Yeah.
Because Smiley's options mutual, so he's going to be not brought back most likely regardless next year. But you're talking about for this year.
I am.
Yeah. Okay.
I am. So
the Angels did something like that last year.
They did. They did it in a little bit of an aggressive manner.
Yeah.
This would just be one or two players in my mind, but
sure. Go Cubs.
We'll see. About 10 days until that. All right, coming up next, the Cubs did win a baseball game, like Sam said, 3-1 over the Tigers. Let's recap it next.
This episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. Something I got to learn a little more about. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your car alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. From superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, PCA, power, we don't really have a ton of guys with a lot of power, or style, Javier Baez. eBay Motor has got you covered with over 122 million parts for your number one car. You'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP. In 2018, Javier Baez finished second in the MVP voting and bring home that win. Keep your car alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers.
Cubs play the Tigers at 7:05 p.m. Central Wednesday. You can hear every pitch of the Cubs hometown broadcast on SiriusXM by searching Cubs on the SXM app. Cubs defeated the Tigers 3-1 on Tuesday. Cody Bellinger hit a two-run double in the fifth to give the Cubs the lead. Javier Assad went 5 2/3 innings, and Dansby Swanson hit a solo home run. Tigers went with an opener in this one, likely will do the same the next two games as well. Every Tiger in Tuesday's lineup was 28 or younger besides Javier Baez, who went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts in his first game back at Wrigley Field. As we said earlier, Miller, Smiley, and Hodge finished the game out of the pen. Sam, what stuck out to you in a Cubs win is they're now 62-64?
Thought it was Javier Assad's best outing in quite a long time. I thought the turning point of this ball game was in the 5th inning. There was a leadoff triple, I want to say, and it was kind of a cheap opposite field triple, and he really executed after that beautifully. Every strikeout was earned by him. Thought it changed the game, was a turning point. And then, listen, I was texting Ty earlier today. I told him, I said it's going to be another low-scoring game. I mean, this is when the wind's blowing in like this. You got to keep guys off the bases with walks. You have to, play a little small ball. You got to get a big hit. And Cody Bellinger got a big hit. That was the difference in the game. It's been very, very difficult to watch Seiya Suzuki right now. He is in one of those funks where he has just been taken down. And I so believe if I were a part of this organization, I would make a difference. I would have his back with calls. I would talk to him. I'd say, hey, listen, today, if there's 2 guys on, ambush a first pitch and swing at it. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it. Just go. Just predetermine it. But I really do think the zone has hurt him. But, I thought Bellinger's hit was the game. Assad, getting out of that, what was it? Like an opposite field triple that Bellinger had trouble with. And then,
corralled in the corner, came all the way around for 3 bases.
Yeah. And then he held that guy. And then the next inning, the Cubs, scored. Bellinger got the big hit, and then Dansby got one up and carried it through the wind to left field. It's got to be his first or second homer. It's been quite a while. It's been a power struggle for him, but this was just good baseball today. Clutch hitting, good pitching, good relieving. 3-1 win, you move on. That's kind of what you have to do at Wrigley Field when the wind's blowing in. Cubs did it today.
Yeah, and I think the Tigers are building a little something there.
Sure.
They had even just recently, I don't know how recent it was actually. Didn't they have 2 walk-offs in a row against the Dodgers?
I don't remember.
I think that was since the All-Star game, but I like what they're doing there. The Cubs missed Skubal, we talked about, but they have some dudes, and no one that necessarily pops off the page, but a young team that has showed promise throughout the year. And yes, have they regressed, in the second half? But I think all 3 of these games could be close. Yeah. Jamison Tyone, again, against an opener, unless the Tigers decide to have Kenta Maeda start Wednesday's game, as the Cubs can win the series quickly there on Wednesday. But yeah, I like Desat going deeper into the game. Bellinger with a clutch hit after, a little bit, I thought, too passive his first time or 2 up, and then was able to come through there in the 5th. That's something to break down at some point, Sam, that his 2-strike hitting this year really wasn't a story because he swung earlier.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's bared fruit as much as he would like or not. But yeah, again, and I know there's easy deflection with this when we say the Cubs have a soft part of the schedule here. But the Cubs aren't a bad team.
No.
They could very well be mediocre.
Yes.
But they should win way more than not in this stretch of 18. And now they're 3-1 in this stretch, and we'll see what happens from here.
Yeah, they gotta keep winning games. It's unfortunate for the offense. It's going to heat up this weekend, right when they leave town.
It's going to get warm,
and because this week, this weekend and week at Wrigley has had an April-y feel to it.
Definitely, especially this week.
Yeah. So and then they go to Miami. Not the greatest park to hit in,
right?
And it'll be pretty hot here. So that's just a part of it. That's just a part of it, and it's it's kind of been like that. But yeah, it's got to grind out wins, and see if they could get better while doing it.
All right, so coming up next, I do have some Cubs Tigers related trivia for us. Stay tuned. Today's episode is brought to you by a great partner at Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks, and you can turn $10 into $1,000 by signing up today when you instantly get $50 when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. The experience of playing with Prize Picks is also so simple and fun. Right now, there's a huge September deal, August into September deal going on, where one Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free wins. Don't miss this deal on Prize Picks because it's gone when September ends. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, run your game. All right, we're back here on Locked On Cubs.
Hey, Matt, before you get into trivia, could I just say something? And I mean no significance about this. I just want to because I just think as our show, I just want to say the Cubs for the first time in a very long time are ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals in the standings, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, they've really just in the last 10 days have had a big slide, right?
I didn't think all year the 2 teams would be good. One being the Brewers, I was completely wrong. One being the Cardinals, I was completely right.
Yeah.
Early in the year. I'm talking like April. The
Cardinals are a good case study in the over 162 because Marmol was on the hot seat.
Yep.
Then they were in a wild card spot. Now they've had this slide.
Well, if you're into run differential, their run differential's minus 63. For example, the Cubs are plus 6.
Right.
Ugh.
Wow.
Not a good thing.
So the Central has 2 teams reeling right now, Cardinals and Pirates.
Yeah.
Reds heated up a little bit, but they've been up and down. Yeah, it's a season that has gone in many ways unexpected, but in others, maybe we did see it coming. All right, in the last 5 years, so since the 2019 season, how many players can you name that have played for both the Cubs and Tigers? Let me simplify this. There's been 12, a dozen total players who played for both the Cubs and Tigers at some point from opening day 2019 to today. Want to give this a shot?
Yeah, I wish it was more than 19 because there's some names that come to mind.
Well, go ahead.
Like Edwin Jackson comes to mind.
Wow. Edwin Jackson would set records for teams played.
Carlos Pena.
Yes.
Comes to mind. Anyways, Nafi Perez comes to mind. But that's not part of the question. You said the last 5 years. Isaac Paredes?
Correct.
Drew Smiley.
So he was a Tiger earlier, but that's a good pull by you.
Oh, they have to be. Got it. Castellanos?
Yeah. Yes. Let me delete these. Yep. Paredes, Castellanos.
So Smiley wasn't right, huh?
Right, technically.
Justin Wilson's before 2019.
Right. There is another lefty, though, on this list. There's 2 lefty pitchers.
Andrew Chafin?
Yes, that's correct. Very good.
Man, these are... I think Todd Van Poppel was both, but that's way before.
Oh, wow. That's a pull.
Yeah, well, I'm really good with the old stuff because I used to play the grid a lot, but I'm... how about Jake Marisnick?
Yeah.
It sounds like am I missing like obvious ones? It feels like I'm missing an obvious one.
There's a couple ones from last year's roster. There's 2.
Hosmer, no. Fulmer.
Michael Fulmer.
Last year's roster. Say it again.
Tweet. Viral tweet.
Oh, Barnhart.
Tucker Barnhart. A player that was traded shortly after we took over the show.
Baez.
Well, Baez is on here, right?
Yeah.
There's also a player that shares time with Baez right now.
Zach McKinstry.
Was
Alex Avila? No, he was before 2019.
He was before.
Yeah. Sergio Alcantara?
Yes. Great job. But there is another catcher on here, though. Speaking of Avila. Was on the Cubs, I think, like cup of coffee. He has a brother in the big leagues as well. They're catching brothers.
Oh, this is going to bother me.
Played for the Yankees as well.
Oh.
I guess lettuce could be a clue. Type of lettuce.
Iceberg, romaine. Oh, Austin Romine.
Yeah.
Great hint.
Yeah.
Austin Romine. Yeah.
So I think you could get these last 3.
I think Austin Jackson.
One's on television right now across a couple different channels, including MLB Network. 2020 deadline. In the shortened year.
COVID.
Yes.
You can make trades during COVID?
Yeah, there was a deadline, a small deadline. Cubs did acquire this player. The other one pitched tonight, and then another one was a lefty reliever.
Oh, boy. I said Chafin.
Right.
I'm trying to think, who did the Cubs... who did they add at the deadline? They had Souza Jr.,
I think they actually added a couple guys. This was one of them, though.
The dude from
MLB Network.
No, the dude at the deadline, Martinez?
No.
He was from Cleveland. Jose Martinez.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they added him, didn't they?
Yeah, but I don't think
they added a pitcher too. But anyway, they also added Cameron Maybin.
Oh, Maybin. I should have got that.
Shelby Miller pitched tonight, Sam.
Oh,
Shelby Miller got a cup of coffee with the Cubs in 21.
And who is the other lefty reliever?
Daniel Norris.
Got it. Can I name a couple more old guys?
Oh, please. We got time.
I think Rondell White played for Detroit.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember that.
I think Matt Stairs played for Detroit. And I think Randall Simon played for Detroit.
Wow. And did Luis Gonzalez play for
I think Luis Gonzalez had a cup of coffee.
Yeah. The World Series hero for the D-backs.
I'm trying to think anymore. How about can somebody fact check me on this? How about left-hander Phil Koch?
Oh, wow. He was a Cub?
I think he was, dude.
Let me look. He was 2015 for 16 ball games.
Yeah,
what a pull.
Yeah, no, I'm really good with the two teams when you give me a chance.
That's great. No, I enjoy those.
Trying to think. How about that guy? One more. I know we're going long.
All right, what is it?
How about that guy? The pitcher Shane Green. Remember him? Wasn't he? What was his deal?
I don't know if he made it out of AAA though.
Didn't they make a move and call him up or something?
Let me see.
Okay.
Oh yeah, last year 2 games.
Yeah, how about him?
Wow, a good one.
I said
Justin. He was a long-time Tiger.
I said Justin Wilson, and then of course, Jamer Candelario played for both teams, right?
Yes. Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much for checking out.
Great trivia question.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You go 20 to 30 minutes. We'll give you all things Cubs with a laugh or two along the way and some trivia. Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube, smash the like button for the algorithm, and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcast. We'll talk to everybody after Cubs Tigers on Wednesday night. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.